And here comes our next boxer. Tonight it's his professional debut. Hailing from Manchester via his homeland of Lithuania, here is Mindaugas Baublys.
He's the only man I know. When he used to MC for Frank Warren, he used to pitch up at the shows and wear sunglasses in the arena.
A young man from Lithuania making his way to the boxing ring, making his professional debut. Trained by Sean Krill.
Yeah, Mindaugas, as they call him, he's been in my gym now for about 2 years. He loves it, he lives for it. Sean's got a real good grip of him, and the improvement over the 2 years, seeing him in my gym every day, incredible really. He's been a little bit nervous. I saw him this morning, he was skipping and shadow boxing just to keep himself occupied, but little amateur experience. A little bit, you can understand the nerves, but he can't wait.
Oh, no, where did he box amateur here for the last couple of years? Is he what club was? You know?
He had like 3 fights for the Fox, but Sean decided
ABC up at AU's Arnie Farnell's gym.
Yeah, they've had that.
Still live and exclusive on VIPBoxing.tv, proudly brought to us by Black Flash Promotions in association with VIP Promotions. This next contest is 4 3-minute rounds of boxing in the middleweight division. Introducing to you firstly, boxing out of the blue corner, wearing the blue clutch shorts trimmed with white. At the weight he scaled 11 stone, 3 pounds, 6 ounces. Tonight is his 30th professional contest, hailing from Swansea, Wales, Matthew Ashmole. And opposing him, boxing out of the red corner, wearing the blue clutch shorts trimmed with red and white. At the weight he scaled 10 stone, 12 pounds, 2 ounces. Tonight he makes his proud professional debut, presenting from Manchester and Lithuania. Here is Mindaugas Baublys.
He looks about 40.
Referee in charge of the action, Mark Lyson from Liverpool. 4 3-minute rounds.
Just a couple of tweets to just catch up on, and then we have got an interview with Sean Krill that I've got exclusive to play out. Denny Matthews has tweeted in with a question. Do you wish you were Scouse, Steve?
No, tell Derry, I'm proud to be South West London. You should know that, brother. Having spent time with me in Las Vegas when we rubbed shoulders with the rich and not so rich for a week last year. When you were my side.
Seconds out, round one.
A good one at that too.
And final question from Alex Morris, Team Stream. I think he's had a few accounts. Kovalev then Ward. How do you think it goes? I'll start first because I'll let you do the in-depth stuff. It's going to be Kovalev by probably submission for me. I'll pass it over to you, Steve.
You know what? I've got a sneaky feeling for Andre Ward. Always seems to find a way to win, doesn't he? You know, look, Kovalev is a powerhouse. He's venomous. He's spiteful. I don't, you know. Barry Jones often points out to me he's not the nicest bloke in the world, but it doesn't make him a bad person, you know, at all. But I just got a feeling Ward always finds them ways to win, doesn't he? You know, and that's why I just go with him. Every time he's had to find a way. When he's been, you know, people who said he might lose, like Carl Froch, Kessler, even people were saying he would lose. He's found a way to win and win well.
Yeah, it's not even as if he's ever been in a life and death struggle, is it? He always found a way to win clearly. I think Andre might be the smartest fighter knocking around in the world today.
Yeah, quite possibly. I mean, I'm a big fan. And don't forget, until his layoff, people will, you know, it was a toss of the coin to a lot of people. Who was the pound for pound best? Ever mythical those pound for pound rankings are. It was a toss up between him and Floyd before he got his injuries.
Yeah. We also had a tweet in from Declan Taylor, who I think you have a fair bit of interaction with, Steve.
Which one? There's 2 Deck Taylors. One from Oldham and one the journalist who's a mate of mine.
Yeah, the clown from Oldham.
He's not a clown. He's a good man.
He's asking you, how does it feel to be like have come down to a level in such an iconic town? I
haven't come down a level. I'm with Nick and Jim.
There's a question for you guys. Tweet in before we start covering the fight. We seem to be getting drifting a little bit tonight. Pound for pound, what's the best fight city in the UK? Give us your reason why as well. Nice action here from Mindaugas Baublys in the ring. Sean Krill, like I say, we'll give the interview with Sean at the end of the round. Steve Lillis interviewed him earlier on in the week. We'll run through that.
Right at this time, the best fight city in Britain is Liverpool. You know, it's like they change these cities. Like, you know, when we had them great days at the MEN Arena, the 9X Arena as it was, you know, back in the 90s with Eubank Ben. Then we had the Hatton, the Farnell and Gomez nights. Manchester was the capital, but right now it's Liverpool with an array of champions and guys, amateur clubs there. It's got to be Liverpool at the moment. He was London for many years, then Manchester, now Liverpool. But you can virtually say the Northwest region is the home of boxing in Britain right now.
Does seem to get better. Was it the O2 on Saturday night for the AJ and Brazil show? Let's call it that.
That's what it was. It was an event. Eddie's selling. I'm not. He makes no apologies. He's selling events there to the casual fan. And which is fair enough. And you know what? People knock the casuals to come into these fights, but you know what? If 100 casuals, if 2,000 casuals went to that, and if 10 of them are converted to become boxing nuts and buy Boxing News and Boxing Monthly, I'll accept it.
Yeah, if 1% of those go to a Steve Goodwin show then it's done its job, hasn't it? That's what we need. You need a constant stream of new fans.
When people talk casuals, there's a lot of inverted snobbery said about them.
So we did say we'd bring you the Sean Cruel interview. We got Steve Lillis interviewed him earlier on in the week. He's got a couple of questions that Steve asked Sean. Just going to run through that now.
Sean, you set up that gym in Denton. How's it going there for you?
Yes, thank you, Steve. The gym's going really well. I've got some talented lads coming through. I've got a Lithuanian called Mindaugas Baublys. He's very talented. I think he could possibly go all the way.
And of course, you're best known for your work with Anthony Crolla. How are things going with Anthony ahead of his unification against Jorge Linares?
Yes, Anthony's in great condition. He's very, very happy with everything we're doing, and I'm very excited for his fight with Jorge Linares.
What was it like in the Manchester 10K when I went running past you?
Round 2.
Welcome back to the action here. It's round 2. Baublys and Ashmole. Baublys in the kind of nice blue velvety shorts. Kind of stuff you'd wear if you opened the what are they called? Open the cupboard at Hilton Hotel. Put them on for the night as you're getting out the shower. We've all been there.
Yeah. Matthew Ashmole, interesting character. He hadn't won in his first 28 fights, and then he went and got a win against Artif Daniel, the punching dentist last time, who seems to be everywhere I go over the world. I went to the Mayweather gym one day to do a Film Ashley Fearfane. I walked in there, and the first person I saw getting out of a big BMW was Artif Daniel. He was there training under Eddie Mustafa Muhammad for a month.
Was that before his defeat to Matthew Ashmole?
It was before the defeat to Matthew.
So can we put that down to jet lag, do you think?
It was a couple of months before that when Artif lost to, when I saw him in Las Vegas. I forget what fight it was I was out there for even. It was last year sometime when he spent quite a lot of time with Eddie Mustafa Muhammad, but it must have been disappointing for him to lose to Matthew, because I think he also lost his fight before that against Kieran Gray as well.
He did.
Nice tweeting off Fennel Dave. Thanks for the tweet in, Dave. Glad you're enjoying the show. Chad Hogan, Mr. Brian King's tweeted in. Stevie wants to know, do you go Aston Mal? So I think we'll leave that for after the watershed, Steve.
Big Brian, I'll speak to Barry about that. Barry Jones, see what the answer is I should give to that, because it's the sort of thing you discuss with him, isn't it, regularly? And it's the watershed here still. The third fight isn't completed.
I must actually apologise to Matthew Ashmole. Me and Creme de la Cremna commentated on the fight with Artif Daniel, and we thought he lost it comfortably. Yeah, we did. We saw it virtually one-way traffic, and we were shocked by the decision. But speaking to people ringside afterwards, people like Andy Whittle who know exactly what they're talking about, they thought it was a pretty fair result. So if you're watching this back, Matthew, apologies from John Evans.
And it is a subjective sport, there's different opinions. And you know what, John, you always notice sometimes the different opinions from people, whatever side of the ring they sit. That's what I found bizarre.
Andy Kremner's not a good boxing judge as well. If Andy Kremner's got a fight 40-36, it could be anything. Now, Jim Watt gets a bit of stick for some of his scorecards. Andy Kremner, mate, he's a nightmare, he is.
How is Creme de la Creme shoulder coming on, Simon?
Yeah, Andy Kremner, he's still out injured with bad shoulder. I've got a similar injury myself. Got sore arm syndrome. Went down the doctors this week. Told them I've got a bad arm. So seems to be a lot knocking about. What about you, Steve? You're in good health?
I'm in good health. Yeah, I'm feeling good, mate, at the moment. No real niggles. I'm in good shape. I'm just looking to the left of us here. I don't know if the cameras will pick it up in the corner at the end of the round. Is Di Gardner, who wasn't ringside for many years, and he suddenly appeared the other week in Liverpool with a boxer who fought Josh Lever. Di did so much for boxing down in South Wales in the 90s, did a great job with Steve Robinson, Robbie Regan. There must have been a time when Di may have been, at that, for a period, one of the most successful trainers in Britain for a time. I were coming off a conveyor down there, and they was all going through Di and Ronnie Rush, who trained with him. Does a fantastic job, and it's good to see Di back ringside.
It's good for Welsh boxing as well, seems to be having a bit of a revival, doesn't it? Box Nation there for a massive show in 2 weeks. Hopefully get a good crowd in and get the scene moving again in Wales. It's been a bit quiet recently. It's
a big thing to get a good crowd down there in a couple of weeks. Is so important for Welsh boxing to encourage promoters, be it Frank Warren and Box Nation, Hedy Earn and Sky, to maybe go back down there again. Liam Williams, who's one of the main attractions on the bill, defends his British super welterweight title against
Seconds
Gary
out,
Corcoran.
round 3.
Against Gary Corcoran. He's already sold over 600 tickets, and I went down to that arena for the press conference the other day, and there is not a bad seat in the house. It's a purpose-built ice hockey arena. You might have
No, you tweeted the pit, it looked fantastic.
Yeah, it's a purpose-built ice hockey arena, and it's almost as if it was purpose-built for Dublin. I feel like that Dublin boxing arena. It's not laid out like that, but it's almost that good. There's not a bad seat in the house. Absolutely brilliant. It's going to be a fantastic night down there. I mean, Liam says it holds 4,500. It doesn't look as if it holds that many, but I was told 4,000. But I really hope they get a sellout that night, because there's a local manager, or a London manager, Mo Pryor. He's got a lot of the undercard boxers on. Frank Warren's got a lot of the fighters on, and people really working hard for it to be a success down there. And a lot depends. There could really be a big surge in Welsh boxing down there again, if it goes well.
Yeah, Mindaugas has been fighting the target more and more in this round. He's landed a couple of nice right uppercuts.
Ashmole seems pretty comfortable in there. He's happy to trade with it. But he's looking a little bit tired, Baublys, in the end of the second round. His hands were dropping.
It's expected on a debut, isn't it? Mindaugas has been doing the round sparring, hasn't he? He's been in Steve Maylock's gym doing a lot of rounds. He's been all around via... Yeah, Steve's looking after him. Seconds duty in the corner tonight. Mindaugas has been getting around everywhere, doing a lot of sparring, which you would expect if he's not had a long amateur career. But obviously on your debut, the nerves tell, the adrenaline goes pretty quick, and you do get tired, don't you? But so far, holding it together pretty well.
Steve Lillis there, I've just spotted you on, what are you looking at there, Steve? Mark McFarlane, yeah, he's not very impressed with what he's tweeting.
I met Mark in Dublin. I think he's a pal of Barry Jones. I think it was Mark I met in Dublin. I'm sure it was you, Mark, I met in Dublin with Barry Jones. And Claymaker isn't just punching above his weight there. He's absolutely gone, unified. WBC, WBA, Super Duper, WBC Diamond, IBF Interim, WBO, WBC Platinum, Ring Magazine, Boxing News, Boxing Monthly, Champion of the World with that picture you've put on Twitter. Well done, Claymaker. Proud to call you a pal.
There's a tweet in, apparently I look bigger from the side, so I'm going a little bit more square on now, Steve. Getting a bit of stick since the camera.
You're looking well.
Come on us, mate.
You're looking well, mate. You're looking well for me.
I don't think it helps being sat next to you, mate, to be honest with you.
How does the woman in the infamous Mark McFarlane photo compare to the woman in Maidstone you were telling us about earlier? If you had to marry one of them, which one would it be?
Let's put it this way, for anything like that to happen, I'd be a bit like Canelo. I'd be setting a weight limit for the day before the wedding. Let's put it that way.
The picture Mark's put on, it looks like Sally from Coronation Street's mum, doesn't she?
Funny you say that, actually. Warren Tansy's watching. He always says it sounds like Kevin Webster's commentating whenever I do a bit.
And a bad cut there on the left eye of Ashmole. I think the doctor's going to have a look at that. And it was caused by a punch as well.
Bit of music in between rounds, it's always nice, isn't it? Gets the crowd going. Just looking around, not got a lot of life behind them, sat behind us, but them in their £30 seats, they probably, I've not seen Matt Bowles smile actually since he's been sat there.
He's smiling okay. Look, he's a big fan of boxing, mate. He goes everywhere, absolutely everywhere to follow boxing. If he's not at a show on a Saturday night, it must be something major on TV like the X Factor.
As well, Steve, what do you make of Matt's outfit tonight? We think he's come like an 80s tennis player.
Fourth and final round.
You know what? I don't wear gambit. I do go for the polo shirt and jeans and trainers usually, so I'm not going to knock it.
We'll get Matt Bowles to stand up. A few people have tweeted in and asked us Tim Enman let himself go, sat behind us. So
You need to get Matt in the seat, mate, for a fight, don't you, in a minute?
Good debut from Baublys. I know we've not covered much of the boxing, but Steve Wood, you know, last time I did a commentary a little bit like this, a little bit tipsy with Anthony Fowler. Very popular lad on Twitter.
You know what?
The whole country's behind it. We're not going to go there, Steve.
I'll go there, because I tell you what, the stick Anthony gets is absolutely, well, I've discussed it with you tonight, it's diabolical. I know a lot of the fellas I talk to on Twitter, I know one behind me's not a fan, but look, you meet Ant Fowler, he's like, you know, he's a good fella.
Good kid, Fowler. He's looking a bit of a mess now.
Yeah. I'm surprised that the referee Mike Larson didn't get the doctor to look at the end of the last round. It was a nasty injury. Baublys doing it. He's got. They've got their wounds in both.
Yeah, is he cut or is that Ashmole's blood?
I'm not sure. We'll see a bit clearer when he turns around.
Right hand as well there from Ashmole. Freelance Foz has tweeted in tonight. It's always nice to hear from Elliot. I know Frank Warren doesn't always think so when he's letting a few fights out of the bag, but big fan, I like Foz.
I don't think Paul Butler's too keen on him either. No, he's a good kid, Foz. He's not a bad lad at all.
This has been a cracking scrap, this has 2 fights in. John, what's the rest of the night looking like, that running order, mate?
Yeah, we've got 5 fights to go after this. Coming up next is Dale Coyne. Dale Coyne from Terry Flanagan's finest gym. He's taking on Yaelton Neves, and Dale's been looking good in sparring, hasn't he, Simon? We've seen him putting him around with John Telford, who turns over in a couple of weeks. Dale's looked nice and sharp. He was working southpaw pads with Steve yesterday. He said he loves southpaws, and Nietes is a southpaw.
Yeah, I think the ref's going to let this go on, to be honest with you. Looking at the cut then, seems to have done a good job on it. It's kind of turning to tighten up. Yeah, talk about Dale Coyne there, sparring with John Telford, turns pro on the 16th of July. At the Gary 2 Smooth booth camp. Johnny interrupted you then, mate.
Yeah, look at it in the cut. It's quite a nasty cut, but it's not actually at the side of the eye. So it's running down the side of the face, not in the eye. If that was a slightly high, he wouldn't still be in this fight. But Baublys isn't scared of letting his hands go, is he? Getting in range and just throwing, is he?
He's some good fights, Baublys.
You know what? I'm not going to say he's ever going to be a world beater, but he's going to be in good fights.
Yeah. Because
he makes good fights. You can just see from his style, he lets his hands go. You know, he lets his defence go a little bit, hey, and punters will come to watch that.
Thing is as well, you know, he's one of these Eastern European kids that's come over, you know, set up residence over here, found his way in one of the gyms, and if he wants to sell tickets, you know, this is where he's going to have to box. Look at Paul Drago down at the Elite Gym.
Yeah.
You know, similar kind of story there. You know, exciting fighters, get up a little bit of a fan base. I'm told he's done £3,000 worth of tickets tonight.
That's good.
Young Baublys, so
that's pretty good. Also, you know, there's quite a big Lithuanian community in the northwest. If he can appeal to them and they can get behind their own, we do see a lot of Lithuanians coming into this country. You know, they're not here to win. You know, they've got someone who can bring a little bit of success. They'll have entertaining nights out watching him because he's going to be in good fights.
Yeah, he gets his career underway with a win there. Sean this morning said we've done £3,000 worth of tickets. He said if you gave him more notice, he'd do 60 to 75 tickets without a problem. I know Sean will probably be kicking him because he likes to see his fighters moving left and right, and he stood and traded a little bit. But as debuts go, it's a pretty impressive one from Mindaugas Baublys.
And we're going to pass it over now to Berry's version of Michael Buffer. Been a bit of a film buffer in his times as well, from what I'm led to believe. There is a bit of internet footage of Michael passes. Anyway, we'll leave it there.
We'll leave it there. We don't have the third fight, but Matthew Ashmole there, he was defeated there. And the thing, Matthew fights regularly. He's going to be out of action for some time with that cut, which is a real shame for him. It has to be the end of his season. He must have been hoping to get another round in this one. Good to see you. Don't see you for years, and twice in 3 weeks. He's like a bus diver, and then we don't see him for years, and he comes twice in 3 weeks. I'll see him. A good man.
Good performance from Baublys. I think he'll be used again on a Black Flash show.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of boxing, referee Mark Lyson has adjudged this particular contest 40 points to 37 points for your winner. On his proud professional debut from Manchester and Lithuania, Mindaugas Baublys. And a fine effort from Swansea's Matthew Ashmole. Thank you, Matthew.
Tim Edmonds let himself go.
Here we go, just a big thanks again for tonight's sponsors, British Boxers, Andrew Cowie Construction and White Mass Pharmacy. Without the help from these guys, these shows wouldn't be able to go on. Steve Wood, VIP Promotions in association with Blackfash Promotions, bringing you a night 7-fight card here. Oldham Leisure Centre.